Thanks for clicking on to Sunday's edition of VOGAN'S Views in Europe. It's the 27th of May. The time is around 5:40 p.m. here after a glorious day once again. Literally not a cloud in the sky today. We're seeing a temperature tying for the second warmest of this heat spell, which was 79 degrees here at the house, just over 26 Celsius. And we're seeing quite widely temperatures into the 25 to 27 Celsius range today. Now, we are going to be starting to see gradual changes taking place over the next 24 hours. You'll notice after today, widespread sunshine, warm temperatures. Yeah, it's going to be a warm day tomorrow, that's for sure. 24, 25 quite widely across inland areas yet again. But what we will start to see taking place will be the formation of thunderstorms developing. Now, why are we going to start to see that taking place? Well, we're going to start to see the cooling of the upper levels of the atmosphere. As the ridge starts to break down, we're going to start to see heights lower. When heights and thickness values lower, we then start to introduce colder air over top of this heat. And of course, that doesn't mix well. It increases the upward motion, and it therefore forms cumulus clouds, and then they eventually build vertically into the atmosphere and become cumulonimbus clouds, and those tarn anvils will start to show up through the afternoon across particularly the south and Midland part of England. Now, over the course of Tuesday afternoon, the showers and thunderstorms will become a little bit more widespread. Temperatures yet again will be in the low 20s as opposed to Monday's mid-20s. By Wednesday, we start to see much colder air over top of the residual warmth, which is not going to disappear very fast, that is for sure. And that, of course, means that when you've got temperatures into the low 20s, very chilly air once again starting to push over top in the mid and upper levels, that, of course, really will pop off some very powerful thunderstorms. I do reckon across Scotland and all over England, parts of Wales as well, Northern Ireland, that is when you're going to start to see this pattern. This lasted a good 8 days, start to really break down, and we could see some dramatic lightning displays, hail, gusty winds, and of course torrential downpours. It will be kind of tropical in the nature of these showers, and they will cause localized flooding. Be aware of that. If you're underneath one, they might dump a tremendous amount of rain in, say, a 20-minute period, and it will cause problems likely. But it looks as if over the course of Monday, Tuesday, and especially Wednesday, we're going to gradually start to see an increase in thunderstorm activity, and that will start to break down this ridge properly. Now, as I skip through, this is off the ECMWF chart. This is the upper level pattern. You can see the ridge remaining in place. Notice here the upper level feature here. That's going to continue to keep things cloudier across the south of Ireland in through parts of Cornwall and Devon. But we are going to see temperatures still into the mid-20s and upper 20s across many parts of interior Britain. We could be seeing temperatures up to 25 again across parts of Glasgow, where it was around 26 today, I believe, and down through Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, London, we could be seeing between 25 and 27 Celsius tomorrow. So it's going to be another warm day tomorrow, that's for sure, but we will start to see storms start to pop off. And quite often during hot spells, it is capped by a very, very thundery breakdown, and I think that's going to take place by Wednesday. You notice here, look at the change takes place. The models have actually just updated here, so that's an interesting turn of events. Notice how the change takes place between Tuesday, where the ridge is still very strong, and then bang, all of a sudden by Wednesday, we've got going to those oranges. There's the trough starting to show through. The ridge then gets suppressed right down towards Iberia. Interesting is the fact that the cold air out of this trough is going to spread right across and over top of this very warm air at the surface. And of course that will really rapidly increase the upward motion and forming those storms. Folks, do not underestimate how powerful some of these thunderstorms could be across many parts of the British Isles. I think it's going to be widespread. Tomorrow is going to be isolated reasonably around the south and Midland part of England, up through more northern areas by Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, bang, you could be having quite a stormy day across many parts of the UK. By Wednesday and into Thursday, there's an area of low pressure. That same system that was to the southwest is now pushing in towards the southwest and central portions of England. Much cooler conditions working through, much colder conditions that are working through Scandinavia. And this is a sign of things to come, folks, because this trough is going to continue to work southwards, while this area of region, once this little system here pushes eastwards, it's going to open a door of least resistance, a path of least resistance. That's going to work northwards, and that will set the scene for the upcoming weekend. By Friday, notice that here, there's the ridge starting to spike all the way up towards Greenland, in fact, while we'll see this upper level low, that's getting pushed west, while we've got the trough here drilling this much cooler air down across the British Isles. By Friday, looking ahead at Saturday, and you can see here a much colder northerly flow. It could remain fairly chilly, that's for sure. Temperatures back down towards average, if not slightly below average. What a difference a weekend makes across the British Isles and Ireland as well. And we're going to see that cooler air, much cooler air, covering the UK all the way over Scandinavia, down through central portions of Europe, France as well included. Notice how the warmth is pushing through much of Iberia, but we actually could see showers, thunderstorms across north and northeastern Spain, through parts of Andorra, up into parts of France as well. But it looks as if it's going to be very cool compared to what we've seen. Temperatures perhaps struggling to hit 14 or 15 across many parts of Scotland, perhaps only 16 or 17 across parts of England, while tonight we could be seeing lows of that value. So it just shows you the difference here. Notice here as well is it's turning more negative in the North Atlantic Oscillation. Of course, we've got a reversal, the trough now over the northwestern Europe as opposed to the ridge. That ridge starting to try and push into the North Atlantic, and of course that would be more indicative. A more negative North Atlantic Oscillation is setting up. So my statement to you would be that we'll watch the models for a change back to positive. So if we're wanting to say, you know, when are we going to see another warm spell, hopefully we'll see one in the not so distant future. But you ask yourself the question, let's keep an eye on the models. What's the NAO doing? Because so far we've been seeing hot spells developing when we've had a positive NAO. Big trough over the North Atlantic, big ridge, powerful ridge in fact, over the western half of Europe. And that has of course been the case the past 8 days. When are we going to see the return to a positive? That's the question. That is likely when we see the next warm spell. So keep checking back. I'll continue to keep you up to date. And also keep checking back as well. A brand new website is in the works at the moment, and I'm very excited about providing that with you very soon. Hope you have a great Sunday, folks, and bye for now.